Tanner, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Hey, Greg, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Tanner. And Tanner, I do think that we've got a very intriguing slate for this MLB Friday, but I do want to ask you about this first as well. We are going to be seeing a pair of teams that are not going to be playing on Friday when it comes to the Cubs versus the Cardinals because they're going to be playing that series in London. When it comes to something like this, is this just a case where you cross the games out for Saturday or Sunday because they're playing in a foreign environment? Or are you going to be taking an approach of trying to see what happened in 2019 where you had 50 runs scored in those two games between the Yankees and the Red Sox?
Yeah, I believe they moved the fence back, so I don't know if we'll
7
have
feet.
that many home runs, right? They moved the fence back a little bit, right? So
Yep.
I don't think we'll have as many runs scored, like 10 home runs in a game or 2 games, whatever it was. But I think there is betting value for this game on Saturday. When you look at Justin Steele going for the Cubs, he's been very good this season, 7-2 with the 2.71. These teams have had some time to get acquainted to the time difference. So when you look at it, I would probably lean towards the Cubs here and against Adam Wainwright and the Cardinals, 3-1 with a 5.56 ERA. When you look at the Cardinals, they just haven't been able to put consistent baseball together. How I bet this game would not change whether it's in London or whether it is in the United States. With that being said, though, I think there's plenty of games on Saturday to bet. So unless you really need it, unless you need to bet that 1 o'clock game, I stay away and look to the rest of the card.
Yep, I do think that there is going to be a lot of intrigue when it comes to that London series, and we could see another home run derby fest there. We might see things be a little bit more tame, but I know that you're going for the futures market a little bit more this week in the MLB, and I do think that this is a good time for it because now we're getting towards that halfway point. Most of these teams have played right around 75 or so games, and we're hearing a lot of people buzzing about some of these teams in the American League West. We're hearing a lot of people hyping up the LA Angels despite the fact that scored as many runs as the two of us in that series against the LA Dodgers. Granted, it was a 2-game series, but not so great if you're looking to re-sign, a generational player that is doing things that have never been seen before. But also the Texas Rangers off to a good start to the year. But I know you're still taking a look at the tried and true team that won the World Series last year. Take me through what you're seeing in the Astros and why you're deciding to fire in on them to be able to win the division.
So for the majority of the year, the Astros to win the World Series was like plus 500, plus 450 in that range. You can get the Astros right now to win the division at a good price. You can get them to win the American League at a really good price in plus 500, just because they're off to a slightly slower start than we would have expected. I know we're halfway through the season, but there's still a lot of baseball games left to be played. The Astros are going to make a move at the deadline. We know that's going to happen. They need pitching and they need a power bat. Jordan hasn't been able to stay healthy. Jose Altuve hasn't looked like himself. Nothing's really gone right for this team, but at the same time, too, they're still 41-34 on the season. So they're not that bad of a baseball team. And then when you get into the postseason, anything can happen, right? So I like them to come out, win the division. But when it comes to the AL, lock this price in at 5-1 right now because the Astros know how to win in October. And if they get in, it doesn't matter who they're playing. They have to win a 5-game series or a 7-game series. And chances are the Astros are going to do that with the talent on this team and the moves that they will make at the trade deadline.
And I know that you're taking a look at a future that I've got in my portfolio as well. I was able to get in on the Reds at 14-1. Felt very good about it. And the Reds, we've seen this number slash quite a bit. Right now, their odds to be able to win the NL Central is plus $3. And thank goodness they finally put the Milwaukee Brewers at plus money. I was seeing this at minus 135. And being someone from the state of Wisconsin, I know that this team is going to let you down if you place a futures ticket on them. So I'm trying to steer you away and trying to make sure that you don't experience the sadness I will eventually feel in September and into very early October. But with the Reds now at 3-1, is this a price that you still like, or maybe this is a team that you take a look at a little bit more in a week or two because they are going to be facing a rather tough series against the Atlanta Braves coming up this weekend?
Yeah, you might want to wait till after the Braves series. You probably can get them closer to 4-1 or 5-1 here. But 3-1 is still amazing when they're third most likely to win the division in the odds market right now. The Reds are still not getting a lot of respect. And you know what? They've won 11 games in a row, right? But this bet has nothing to do with it in my mind. I took a step back and I said, hey, this National League Central division, it's not that good. Anyone can win this division. And the Reds are playing baseball at the right time. Now, the Brewers have been the leaders for the majority of the season. Greg, are you a Brewers fan?
I am, sadly.
Okay, so I don't want to pick on them too much here, but
pick on them, please.
Yeah, they're not that good of a baseball team. They don't have any offense, and pitching can only take you so far if you're not hitting the baseball, right? When we look at the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz has lit a fire under this team. He's batting .321 with 2 homers and .923 OPS. In 14 games, he has recorded a hit in 11 of them, and he has 3 doubles and 10 hits in his past 5 games. He has done a lot of amazing things. This could be the most electric debut or electric start that we've ever seen from a rookie. The bottom line here, the Reds have a top 10 offense in a division where there isn't a lot of offense. They don't have the best pitching staff in the world, but if they're hitting the baseball and they continue to hit, that's a massive advantage in the NL Central because there's just not a lot of teams that can show up every day and hit the baseball.
There are not a lot of teams that are able to do that. And, I mean, for the Milwaukee Brewers, Joey Weimer is right now one of their top home run hitters. It's not a good way to go, my friend. This team they've needed that leadoff bat for such a long time, and this Brewers ownership, every single year they find themselves in the race, and the only time they spent money was in 2007 when they picked up CC Sabathia. So I am a salty Brewers fan, so please continue to slander them on this show, as it is a Greg Peterson experience on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Don't worry, Wisconsin, I still love you. I just don't love that Milwaukee Brewers team right now and what they're doing, but I know what you're doing as well as taking a look at a few player awards as well. And I know that you're taking a look at Corbin Carroll as well. I know that you found a little bit of a unique market on him. Take me through what you're really looking at for Corbin Carroll and the plus money that you're finding on him to do something historic this year.
Yeah, so you can get this on FanDuel for him to be in the 40-40 club this season, which is 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases. When I was thinking about this prop and placing this prop bet, I was thinking back to a story when I was sitting on the blackjack table. There was a guy who I was playing with, and he had 2 10s, right? He decided to split them against like an 8, and he ended up getting a 10 and an ace, so he painted it, right? And when I saw that, I was like, what are you doing? He looked at me. He's like, I'm not here to win. I'm here to gamble. And this is the kind of bet, that's the kind of saying that you look at when you see this bet here for the 40-40 club. Is Corbin Carroll likely going to join this club? It's a stretch. I'm not going to lie about that. But you know what? To make money here, you got to gamble. You got to live on the edge a little bit. And I love it for 9-1. When you look at it, he's got 22 stolen bases so far. So I'm not really worried about this side of the bet here. I do think he hits 40 with ease. But when it comes to the home runs, he's going to continue to hit the baseball. He just needs to hit it at a little higher rate than he has been. He needs 24 more home runs in the final 89 games of the season, but there's a lot going his way here. He's played in all but 3 games this season, so right there we know he's going to be on the field. He has a ton of pop. He has a ton of power. We've seen that consistently, and he's only going to get better in the second half of the season because he's seeing big league pitching more and more, right? He's second in the National League MVP race right now, which is amazing to Ronald Acuna. He's having one hell of a year. D-backs are going to be making a playoff push. He's going to be on the field consistently. He's going to be trying very hard. He wants to get in, right? And then when you look at it, they also have less games against the division. So if you're not playing the National League West as much, there's a lot more opportunities to shine against a division like the NL Central, against a division like the AL Central, as you know, these teams are playing everyone this season. Also, too, teams that aren't going to be in the mix are going to be bringing up minor leaguers at the end of the year. That could be good for him to, get some easier at bat. He's going to continue to get better and better. So for plus 900, when he is relatively on pace, the home run's got to step up. I think it's worth taking.
And I do think that with Corbin Carroll, he's right now looking very good in terms of the Rookie of the Year race as well in the National League at minus 550. I think that the boat has sort of sailed there, but I know you're taking a look at American League Rookie of the Year. I know that this one's going to be a little bit quicker, but take me through what you like in Masataka Yoshida right around about plus 235 to plus 250.
Yeah, so he's second behind Josh Jung right now, which, you know what, when you look at the numbers, Yoshida's actually been a lot better than he has this season. The one area that Yoshida doesn't have the advantage is in the power market. The home runs haven't been there. Jung's got 15 compared to Yoshida with 8, but still, the Rangers have shocked the world. However, the Red Sox are in a position to make the playoffs, and Yoshida's been a big part of that. Love him to step up and win this award for the value.
By the way, how is Yunior Cano the same odds as Anthony Volpe? That is just not right, to say the least, but what is oh so right is having Tanner Kern on the show, and he's going to be getting us set for the NFL season. Coming up next, we're going to be taking a look at the futures market with him right here on the Greg Peterson Experience on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.